Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Ender's Game 2, an Esper control deck featuring tokens as our win condition. We've got a sneaky amount of card draw to help us get the cards we need, as well as plenty of creature control to handle enemies. We're taking it to this creature-based meta and slamming the enemy with a pair of sweepers. We're light on 1-for-1 removals, but we feel our strategy makes sense. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Authority of the Consuls, a 1-mana enchantment that makes enemy men enter tapped. The goal with this enchantment is to slow enemy men down, and the Authority will do just that. It's particularly great against enemies with haste, as they will enter tapped and be unable to come at us for hits. Plus, the life gain when enemies enter can keep our life total from falling too quickly. Stormchaser's talent is our kill card. Funny, too cute. Not effective. How about we're bringing the cheese? The talent generates an otter token when we play it out and gets us an instant or sorcery when we level it up. This can get us a sweeper if we need it, or a consult to dig through our deck. In this deck, we do want to level the talent up to level 3. That will get us an otter token with every instant and sorcery we fire off. And we come loaded and prepared to be able to fire off plenty of cards to generate our otter men. Consult the star charts is our dig. It'll help us find cards we need. The more lands we have in play, and the deeper into our deck that we get to look. Early, it is not as effective as it will be in the mid to late game, and that's usually when we really need the power to search out cards. Into the Roil is our bounce of choice. We can play it out for 2 mana and bounce any non-land permanent. If we pay the kicker cost, we get to bounce and draw a card as well. We have the flexibility to bounce early or use it later and get another card. Strategic Betrayal our only removal, but it does plenty of work against opponents who are looking to use the grave. This will take out an enemy without having to target, so we can snipe even indestructible men. The bonus of wiping out their grave gives us a chance against reanimator strategies that are still rather popular on ladder. Caretaker's talent is a staple in token decks, and we're playing only 3 copies of it here. We do want to draw one, but we're better getting these in the mid to late game once we can start generating tokens reliably. With this talent, we also want to get it to level 3 to help the stats of our token men. Split Up is the first of our sweepers. In combination with Authority of the Consuls, we can make sure that enemy men are usually tapped, and we can use this to clear out only tapped men. A one-sided board wipe for only 3 mana feels pretty good. Even if we end up catching some of our own men, we have tokens which we can easily replace. Drix Interception is our counter. It gives us 2 modes, and we're capable of using only 1 mode or both. As a counter, we can hit any card the opponent plays out. And being able to tap down a pair of men at instant speed can be a huge benefit. All Fate's Scroll is not only ramp and color fixing, but late in the game, we can pay 7 mana and sacrifice it to draw cards equal to the number of differently named lands we control. And with our diverse mana base, that could be up to 8 fresh ones. Beyond the Quiet is our big sweeper. It'll clear out all men and leave no room for digging them out of the grave later. With our ability to generate token men, we aim to use the tokens to bait the opponent into playing out more men than they should, and make them pay the price when we clear their men out. We lose tokens, but they lose multiple cards. That's often GG's, extra cheese. As a bonus, when we have a Caretaker's talent and a fully leveled up Stormchaser's talent on board, we do get a token before the sweeper hits all men, which will give us a draw from the Caretaker's talent, so our sweeper will also draw us a replacement card. Weftwalking is a 6-mana enchantment that will shuffle our grave, hand, and deck, then we draw a fresh new hand of 7 cards. The downside is that each player gets to play out a card for free once during their turn. But we have a trick to play. If we have one of our bounce, we can return the Weftwalking to our hand after the trigger has gone on the stack, and it'll get shuffled back in and leave us with a fresh new hand without the opponent getting any cards for free. For lands, we're playing 3 Fountainport, the special land that can generate tokens or sacrifice a token for draw. 4 Gloomlake Verge, the island that becomes a dual when we have an island or swamp in play. 4 Godless Shrine, the Orzhov Shockland. 3 Restless Anchorage, the Azorius Manland. 4 Floodfarm Verge, the plains that becomes a dual when we have a plains or island in play. 2 Swamp, 2 Island, and 2 Plains. Playing the deck can be a challenge if you're not familiar with playing control decks. We have some early defensive measures to slow down enemy men or stop them in their tracks. The goal is to find and play out a Stormchaser's talent and level it up when we have the opportunity until we've gotten it to level 3. Keep enemy men at a minimum while using our draw to find cards we need. Whenever possible, pay the kicker cost to our spells, as the effect when kicked is so much better. We have enough draw that we should be able to outpower most opponents, then take over the game with our ability to generate token men. With Weftwalking, we have the ability to play games until the opponent runs out of cards, giving us a secondary way to win. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Wiz Ardo. F the blue wood. Yeah, F that blue wood, bro. Wait, what are we talking about? We're kicking things off with a 3-lander that's got a removal and a sweeper with bounce and our refresh enchantment. This is a bit slower than we'd like, but it should be fine. Keep your pants on. They drop in a marauding Mako. Are we in for a hasty mono-red beatdown? Wait a minute, they're playing out a cauldron? That's not in their arsenal. This has to be Vivi and their magical pants. We draw a scroll. That will be our source for black mana and even white. We draw a Stormchaser's talent, which is our key card. For this turn, we'll snipe their Mako. They hit our token with a removal, which is fine. We'll have far more token men than they have removals. They play out a Scholar. It's a decent-sized flyer with vigilance, and it has a loot ability when it enters. Did you catch that? That was a Vivi they tossed. They were trying to be sneaky. We draw a Caretaker's talent, which will be great when we have the chance to play it out. This turn we'll level up our talent and get our Betrayal back. We'll want to take out their men. That's their key to victory. If they don't have men, they can't win. They play out a Riddler. Having more than one guy in play is a foil to our Strategic Betrayal, but it gives us a 2-for-1 when we fire off our sweeper. We draw a Plains, which is the second white we needed for our sweeper. Let's fire it off and clear out their men. Fire in the Vivi hole. They actually play out a Vivi knowing we have a Betrayal in hand. That lets us know they're fully out of options. It's either play Vivi or do nothing at all. All right, Vivi, we are about to smell you later. Get your worthless hind end out of here. We'll follow up with our Caretaker's talent now that we have the time and opportunity. Then we can follow up with our second Stormchaser's talent for a card draw. And true to form, they hit our token with a removal. Bro better have brought like 50 of those. They play out a memory, which gets them a card, but they're winding down while we are still ramping up. Their next genius move is to bounce our Stormchaser's talent and giving us a sushi. You gotta wonder if they're going to use a removal on the token they gave us. Thanks for the extra card, bro. You're doing everything right, lol. They follow up with a fear of missing out. They sure do not have that fear because they are not missing out. Let's get this scroll down. Then we can follow up with the talent they bounced. We'll get another token and another draw. They hit one of our otters with bounce. I'm kind of surprised they didn't hit the sushi. They send it, but their fear gets to eat the sushi. We draw an authority, which is pretty good. We'll go ahead and play it out. Our next step is to bounce their cauldron. The Vivi plan will have to be recalculated. The draw gets us a man land. We'll be able to use it as an attacker as well as another token generator to draw us more cards. Let's use the Caretaker's talent to make a copy of our otter. Hopefully they have removals for those too. They are a true believer in that cauldron. Never give up, bro. Let's play out our third scroll, then we can level up our talent. To my surprise, they actually let us have it. That is a cauldron they have over there. Maybe it's meant to be a nice decoration. They send it, but we'll bounce their mick, dude. Sure, they can replay it, but then it won't have the counters on it. Let's do some consult work here. With 8 lands in play, we should have an excellent selection of cards. We'll take the talent, and another consult does look good. The lone Caretaker's talent should be enough draw to keep us ahead. They play out another memory. It's a card draw and some pump. They hit our untapped token with bounce to be able to get in for a hit. Let's fire off another console. These are so good when you're digging so deep. We gotta grab the counter. And that's another betrayal that we can use to fix their wagon. We'll activate our man land and get in for damages. We could do a bit more on our turn, but let's hold up our counter. They drew a land, and at the end of their turn, we'll make a treasure token. They go for a Riddler. We could let them have it, but that's a card they'd get. Let's hit it with our counter. The VV pants explode. They're not as magical as we were led to believe. GG's, extra cheese. This is Yaba The Hut. You just know one when you see one. We get a Shuffler special with double authority, 1 each of our talents, and a split up. Although this has some potential, it is a wee bit risky. Mull. Then we get a Shuffler special with 1 authority, a sweeper, a talent, a counter, and a scroll. This is a decent mix. My only concern is the lands. Keep. We'll send the counter on down. Everything else is a bit more impactful. The good thing is we can at least get our authority down. That's a second case for them. Life gain confirmed. We draw a third land and we're in business. We can play out a scroll and follow up with the talent. We'll play out the second scroll. That will give us the color fixing we need. You love to see them use a removal on a token. They use a poisoner to make a food token. Are they gain and drain? They play out a Zoraline, but their fatal flaw is they are a creature-based deck. For now, we'll hold what we got. We can fire off the Consult at the end of their turn and dig up some of our cards. Thanks to the scrolls, we can fire this off with Kicker. We get 3 lands to look at. Let's grab the island and the Verge. Untapped lands are valuable. We draw a Betrayal, we'll put it to good use. This will deal with their Zoraline and their Grave. And we can get it back for another go if they play out only one guy at a time. Let's level up our talent, but we'll get back our Consult, which will be a bit better the next time we fire it off. We'll level up our talent to level 3. From here on out, we'll get a token when we fire off an instant or sorcery. They play out a Sheltered by Ghosts, the most devastating removal ever printed. They nab our talent. Such a clever move. We might not ever recover. Just kidding. We're recovering right away, and we can use our talent to get back another one of our cards from the grave. Again. They fire off a removal to hit one of our otters. We love to see it. They play out an Acolyte. It's strong enough to run the table, but we have ways of dealing with it. We'll level up our talent and get back the betrayal. This will take care of the Acolyte for good. They fire back with a betrayal of their own. We don't mind the exchange. We're pulling ahead and they might be too far behind to recover. Let's level up a talent. We'll be able to start generating tokens nearly every turn. They scoop big and go home, the best of both worlds. That's GG's, extra cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.